Okay, and we're back. Most important part of your series progression is to get rid of your previous progression scratch marks, right? So, and also I think to do the least amount of passes, less is more. So on my 6K, I'm going to try not to do a whole lot of passes. I just want to do enough to get rid of those 1K marks, right? So I'm going to do a couple cleanup strokes here, do some circles. These circles cut fast, man. Not a lot of pressure, the least amount of pressure possible. And what I do is I'll do 10 from heel to middle, 10 from toe to middle, and a couple cleanups. Maybe 10 cleanups. I'm just looking for my blade to feel like it's skating, for my slurry and water on the face of my hone to be undercutting. After a while, once you get used to your hones, you can start to, when you get into your higher grits, you can actually feel your blade want to suck down onto your hone like a suction. If you can develop that type of sensory perception in your hands and your ears and your fingers, with your blade and your hone, you're doing alright. Takes a little bit to get there, but it won't always happen. Some blades will do it, some hones will do it, some won't. That's okay. Doesn't mean that it's not shave ready. Doesn't mean that it is just because it's sucking down on the hone. It's just another sensory perception that tells you you're getting there. Okay. Take a quick look at my blade here and see if I can see any 1K scratch marks in the bevel. It looks like we might be ready to move on already. If it's one thing I've learned from watching the Japan Blade or from Lynn Abrams, it doesn't take much to get rid of your previous scratch pattern. It takes consistent pressure, consistent hone contact, and knowing your hones. And I know this 6K hone well enough to know that it's a fast cutter. It'll give me a nice, really, this 6K will start polishing my edge. A lot of people will say that you're not really polishing until you get to your 8K, but this 6K is a pre-finisher, and it works really well. Okay, moving on to my 8K. Always make sure your surface is ready, inclusion free. There's no toxic particles on the surface of it that are gonna, chip or ding your blade or set you back to, set you back to a previous grit progression. Okay, on my 8K, since I have two of them, instead of using my DMTs, I will use my other 8K to generate a slurry and prep my surface. I've never really, I had to lap these hones once or twice, but in general, man, they're so hard, and they're so aggressive cut. They're a very aggressive cutter, so they work fast, which keeps my surface from getting dished out too much or anything like that. So I do check my surface. I don't get crazy about it, about 100 millionth of an inch flatness, blah blah blah, anything like that. But I do check it with a straight edge. All right, we're honing again, and I'm going to start with circles here too, and go from there. I'm not going to do high pressure, tiny circles. I'm going to do looping circles with almost no pressure. Both directions. Cleanup strokes. And I'm undercutting slurry already. That's how fast these hones work. Lynn Abrams' circle method and Japan Blade, also Atlas Restorations, they both talk about the circles and the half strokes, which I think is another name for the axe method, is just a half stroke. It's fast, man. The combination of the two, I'll be shaving off this blade in no time. Nice smooth shave. You know, this 8K hone is so smooth. It's an 8K, but it feels like a higher grit. It feels like a, you know, maybe a 10 or a 12. That's how hard and smooth it is. I like to do about 10 cleanup passes, 10 cleanup strokes after my circles, or more. It just depends. I don't really count. The counting is a guideline. I just go by feel. So, and also, you know, what I'm seeing my slurry do. So when I feel like I'm skating, maybe possibly sucking down a little bit on the hone, and I'm undercutting the slurry very cleanly, and my finish line is coming out nice and straight, I know that I can move on to the next progression of my sequence. Always with a heel leading stroke. Some people finish on the 8K. Some people shave off of it. Some people will go to their 8K and then go to their chromium oxide or their strop and be shaving off an 8K, which is smart. If you can learn to shave off an 8K, then you can shave off of you know, anything higher, no problem. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple very, very light circles, very looping. It's very important that your spine and your cutting edge remain on the hone at all times. A couple more cleanups. You know, and I can start to feel it sucking down on my hone now, my blade. Almost like a suction, and it's also riding up onto my, the slurry is riding up, it's undercutting very nicely. You know, I could probably move on to my M5 at this point, but I'm going to go ahead and do some water only passes. And I'm going to finish up right now with a couple half strokes. These are polishing strokes, by the way. You know, they refine very well. You know, no pressure. I'm just using my other finger for balance and trying to keep everything even. C135 steel is super hard, but you can see from the metal shavings, the way that my slurry has turned black, that these Shapton stones are aggressive and they make short work of the Thiers Issard's, you know, well-known hard steel. If I was on a, you know, a natural hone or something like that, man, I feel like I'd be here all day. I don't use natural stones at all. Why do that when you have superior quality synthetic stones on the market? You know, it's proven. It's proven. You can get a really good quality JNAT or conical hone, and you know, you can hone all you want. Bottom line is that you're not going to get an edge like you would on a, you know, Shapton ceramic or glass or Chaucera or something like that. You know, you're not going to get that type of edge on these natural stones. It's not going to happen. Okay. Moving on. I'm going to go ahead and do my water only passes. Clean off my hone. You know, that's the other good thing too about these ceramics is that they're so consistent. The way they cut is so consistent. You know, you learn your stone and you're all set. It's always going to be the same. As long as you keep it pretty flat, take care of your stones, they'll take care of you. Right? Okay. Just going to do some swooping X's here. You know, let's not forget, I'm trying to get out that